right, shalom. Most High in Christ bless. Happy Sabbath to the 12 tribes of Israel. I'm Brother Raphael, to my right.
Brother Benaniah.
Today's topic is called Russia opens up its vault to reveal the true biblical Israelites. Russia opens up its vaults to reveal the true biblical Israelites. You know something? The truth is starting to come out. You know, we talked about it before on how things are being revealed and how we're starting to happen more and more being in this era of technology. What's going on is a lot of these lies are being uncovered. All these things are being, being brought out. Because keep in mind, y'all, you so-called blacks, you so-called Hispanic Native Americans, who according to our fathers, we are the 12 tribes of Israel. We are the people of the book. We are the people who they're trying to keep hidden. They're trying their best to keep us from knowing who we are. They have whitewashed the images. We're going to deal with some images. We're going to show you some things that we already have. Different images that we have. Also, we're going to do a video to show y'all what's really been going on. This happened like within the next, I want to say last week or two. And he just and with Putin is dead of Russia, the president of Russia, he's opened up the vault. If y'all don't know, during the Dark Ages, during the Byzantine Empire, we did rule Europe. That's what they call it, the Dark Ages. But what they did was they preserved all of the artifacts. The same way we're gonna deal with the catacombs too, because Vatican has a lot of our stuff underground. They have all, when they came in and took, when the Romans came in under Titus and Vespasian came in 70 AD, they came in and took all of our artifacts. They have all our things underneath Vatican as well. But today we're going to join us today. We're going to go over some pictures. We're going to actually look at the video to show you some different things, because it's very important to know about these things, y'all, because they want to hide these things from people. That's why it's important for you as parents to have children, to keep teaching them, showing them things. Because I'm going to tell you something, it's going to come a time we're going to really try to get rid of everything. Everything as we do know it, okay? But some of y'all may be new. We just can't say we have Christ and no laws and no Christ. That to be coupled together. Give me the book of Isaiah chapter 8 verse 20 to give me the book of Joshua chapter 1 verse 8, brother.
Shalom, happy Sabbath.
Go ahead.
To the law.
To the law. So the whole Bible is the law. You know what's funny? It was a brother at camp. The brother at camp, he had an old 1611 edition Bible, 1905. He said it was grandfather's Bible. That Bible had the Apocrypha, and it was huge. I wish we could get that archive. But that was his Bible. It was beautiful. The 1611 King James Version Bible is the whole book of the law. How can we prove that? The book of Joshua chapter 1 verse 8. Brother, go ahead.
Joshua chapter 1 verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
This whole Bible is the law. It should not depart out of thy mouth. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
But thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Because
true prosperity is knowing who you are as a repentant Israelite and have an opportunity to get the kingdom. That's true prosperity. Prosperity is always about monetary gain or materialism, okay? Not always prosperity, okay? Go back to the book of Isaiah chapter 8 and verse 20 to give me the book of Revelation chapter 19, verse 10, brother.
Isaiah chapter 8 verse 20, to the law and to the testimony.
And the testimony. Revelation chapter 19 verse 10, brother, to prove what its testimony. Go ahead, read.
Revelation chapter 19 verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him.
Go ahead.
And he said unto me, see thou do it not.
Because the angel had to stop John. He says, see thou do it not. Because had John bowed down to the angel, he would have been in the midst of idolatry. Go ahead and read, brother. Go ahead.
I am thy fellow servant.
I am thy fellow servant. We serve the Most High first, then we serve our people. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
And of thy brethren.
Go ahead.
I have the testimony of Jesus.
The testimony of Jesus, the Messiah, the Christ. Some of y'all may say you have a shy, but we do know he is the Son of the Most High. Go ahead and read, brother.
Worship God.
Worship the Most High God. There's no other God above the Most High God of Israel. Nobody tops the God of Israel. Go ahead and read on.
For the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of
prophecy.
prophecy.
Because if you don't have the spirit of Christ on you, you will not understand the Bible. You'll be lost in the sauce, reading with no comprehension. Go back to the book of Isaiah chapter 8 verse 20 to give me the book of Proverbs chapter 6 verse 23.
Isaiah chapter 8 verse 20, to the law and to the testimony.
Go ahead.
If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
Because the light. Okay, some of y'all, if you're a spiritual leader, if they're not speaking precept upon precept as the Bible is written, it says there's no light in them. Proverbs chapter 6 verse 23.
Proverbs chapter 6 verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp,
Go ahead.
and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
Because, what the commandments in Christ supposed to do is supposed to help you navigate through sin, which is darkness. The example would be, if I'm a person who loves to steal, love the 5-finger discount, I'm supposed to take the commandments at a high level, recognize Christ wasn't a thief, therefore you get corrected with the commandments in Christ. It's not so much as just to have the law. You have to have Christ with the law because he is the law. He's the one that establishes the law by how he carried himself and also how he's supposed to carry ourselves as repentant Israelites. Now, you should know the truth. You should know the truth. Give me the book of St. John, chapter 8 and verse 30. Let's start with that first. Some people just jump to verse 32, but I'm going to start at verse 30. St. John, chapter 8, verse 30. Because, it's been a lie that's been told in Christianity, right? How the Jews hated Christ. That's why I wanted to read 30 first, to show you, to prove a point, okay? It's been one big lie that said that the Jews hated Christ. St. John, chapter 8 and verse 30. Go ahead, read, brother, go ahead.
John chapter 8 verse 30. As he spake these words, many believed on him.
Many believed on him. As he spake this word, many believed on him. That's part of the reason why the Pharisees decided hated Christ. They envied him because he was getting much, fame and so forth. But many believed on Christ by his works, more than just his word. Okay? Go ahead, read on.
Verse 31. Then said Jesus to those Jews which believed on him.
So then said Jesus to those Jews which believed on him. I guess that debunks the lie that the Jews hated Christ. It was only a certain sect of Jews that hated Christ because they envied him and they wanted him out of the way.
Just like you have today. Just all you do is go on Facebook and look. People was telling lies. People was twisting scriptures. And they're telling other people to believe on what they believe. It's the same thing.
Exactly. The same type of spirit. It's the same spirit, different faces.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one thing about the spirit of that envy, that hatred. It's still here, but it's a different face.
Right.
See, the same way back then, they had the same spirit back then, and the same spirit translates today. Next verse, brother. Go ahead.
If ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed.
If ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. Because once you follow the purest form of the truth, which is Christ, once you follow him as the Bible is written, he says you are his disciples indeed. Next verse, brother, go ahead.
Verse 32.
Yes, sir.
And ye shall know the truth.
And ye shall know the truth. What is the truth? Okay? What is the truth? Ye shall know the truth. What is it? You give me the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 151. Because Christ says, ye shall know the truth. Psalms chapter 119, verse 151.
Psalms chapter 119, verse 151.
Go ahead.
Thou art near, O Lord.
Go ahead.
And all thy commandments are truth.
And all thy commandments are truth. Go back to John chapter 8, verse 32 again.
John chapter 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
And the truth shall make you free from lies. Because for centuries, they have been lying about who the biblical Israelites are. They've been hiding. Like we just saying, during the Byzantine Empire. You had Russia. We were ruling Russia. We were ruling these areas. Okay, that's what they called the Dark Ages. But what happened was they preserved the artifacts that was in Russia. So what President Putin is doing for Russia, he's opening up the vaults to show the true artifacts. to show the truth. And what's going to happen is going to make people question where these lies came from. That's why they spend so much money to keep us in chaos, to keep us distracted. Like I was saying last night about how you did for these entertainers, all these athletes. They want to over-entertain to keep you from knowing the truth. You see? You should know the truth. Give me Colossians chapter 2, verse 8, and we're going to the video. Colossians chapter 2, verse 8, and then we're going to go to the video and show you something. Show you what's been brought out recently, which we already knew. Some of us already know, but we're going to hear what they have to say about it. Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8.
Colossians chapter 2, verse 8.
Go ahead.
Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy.
It says, beware, lest any man spoil you. Spoil means to destroy you, destroy your mind, to destroy your thinking. It says, beware, lest any man shall spoil you. Or do what? Go ahead, read on.
Through philosophy.
Through philosophy. Philosophy, man-made doctrines, different ideologies. That's philosophies, right? That's rhetoric. Okay, go ahead, read on.
And vain deceit.
And vain deceit. Such as saying that, the biblical Israelites is whites, or the biblical Israelites is the so-called Jewish man. They call themselves Israeli for a reason. Israeli only means citizen of Israel. Israelite means what we are, descendants of Israel. That's why they use the term Israeli to describe them. Why? Because they know they're not the true biblical Israelites. Okay? They know that's what it says Israeli. It means citizen of Israel. Okay? We are from the seed of Jacob. Okay? That's the difference. Okay? Go ahead, read on.
After the tradition of men.
After the tradition of men. Go ahead, read on.
After the rudiments of the world.
Go ahead, brother.
And not after Christ.
And not after Christ. Because that's the thing. They speak great words about Christ, but they will not do the words that he say. 1 John chapter 2, verse 3 for a second. Show you something. Then we go right to the video, okay? Many say they follow Christ. They say, I follow Christ. All right? They always say that, okay? I'm a true follower of Christ. 1 John chapter 2, verse 3.
1 John chapter 2, verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him.
So we said we know Jesus. Some of us say, I have a personal relationship with Jesus the Christ. They say, we hereby know that we know him, right? It's a condition behind how you know the Lord. Read on.
If we keep his commandments.
If you keep his commandments, then you do know the Lord. So if you don't keep the commandments, that means you don't know the Lord. The Bible just said that. Read on.
Verse 4. He that said, I know him. And keep it not his commandments.
It says, he that said, I know him, and keep it not his commandments is what?
Is a liar.
Is a what?
Is a liar.
The Bible says that person is a liar. Go ahead and read on.
And the truth is not in him.
And the truth is not in him. We're going to reveal the truth. We're going to show what they know about the truth. Who the true biblical Israelites are and what they look like. That's very important. They also say, it don't matter what they look like, brother. It does, because it shows how they've been hiding for centuries who we really are. Okay, go ahead, read on.
Verse 5. But whoso keepeth his word.
Whoso do what?
Keep it his word.
Go ahead.
In him, verily, is the love of God perfected.
That's the perfection of the Lord. The love is perfected by keeping the sayings of the book. By applying the scriptures as it's written. Living it, not talking it. Okay? Go ahead, read on.
Hereby know we that we are in him.
We are in him. How? Because we have to apply the commandments. Because Christ is the truth. He is the law. He is our ambassador. He is all our king. Okay, go ahead, read.
Verse 6. He that said he abided in him ought himself also so to walk, even as he walked.
You walk as Christ. So if I say I abide in Christ, I walk in Christ. You do the things like like Christ celebrated the Passover, right? He didn't celebrate Easter Sunday. So we're supposed to celebrate the Passover. The Passover really is representing Christ. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 7. Brethren, I write no new commandment unto you.
He write no new commandment. Go ahead, read on.
But an old commandment which he had from the beginning.
From the beginning. It's always been here. We just haven't been able to apply it. Why? Because we're disobedient children. Okay, go ahead, read on.
The old commandment is the word which ye have heard from the beginning.
From the beginning. From the beginning, there was the word. The word is with God. The word is God. Okay. All right, now play the video. Play the video for me. It's a decent video, y'all. Just pay attention to what they're saying. They're trying to open up the vault. We're gonna go over some stuff. We got some pictures as well from the book. It's dealing with Russian icons. I touched this. I don't know, maybe years ago. I touched it. I'm gonna touch it again. We have the catacombs and we have Russian icons. This stuff is hidden in history. They don't want you to know. Hopefully, they don't clip us. Okay. But anyway, it's just for educational purposes, not to be sold. Okay. We don't own the rights to the video. It's a YouTube video anyway. I want to put that out there. Okay. Let's play the video.
Have you ever seen or heard of biblical icons where Jesus or the Virgin Mary have dark skin, or even Abraham or King David? Then look beyond Europe. Russia has opened its vaults to reveal biblical icons featuring darker-skinned figures. In case this is making you wonder if Russia has its own twist on biblical figures, the answer is a no. This is not the case at all. This is, a matter of fact, as real as the untouched horizon.
Never underestimate the power of kindness. But of course, not
Horizon of time. These icons aren't just artistic anomalies. These hold deep meanings of hidden shaded truths, sparking serious, curious questions about history and faith, representation, and the unexpected corners of religious art. Pay close attention, amazing people. You are just about to hear it today, like it is, in this video. Before we continue, kindly endeavor to hit that like button as a way of supporting our works. Share with your families and friends to keep spreading our eye-opening black narrative, and subscribe to stay put for more, while you help in building the rising membership of this channel. We appreciate your support. First and foremost, let's start with the person of the most popular name in the world today, Jesus. Mark chapter 4 verse 22. For there is nothing hidden which shall not be manifested, neither anything kept secret that would not be brought to light. For centuries, the most common image of Jesus Christ, at least in Western cultures, has been that of a bearded, fair-skinned man with long, wavy, light brown or blonde hair and often blue eyes. But the Bible doesn't describe Jesus physically, and all the evidence we do have today in...
Can you hear me? You stopped it?
Yes, I did.
So he just said the Bible does not describe Christ physically. Let's find out let's find out if that's true or not. Give me the book of Revelation. Start at verse 1 and then jump to verse 10.
Revelation chapter 1 verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
Stop. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which means the revealing of, right? He just said that it doesn't describe him physically. Let's find out what John saw. Jump to verse 10.
Verse 10. And I saw in the spirit on the Lord's day.
So John is on the island of Patmos. In 90 AD, he saw in the spirit on the Lord's day, which happens to be the Lord's Sabbath day, right? Go ahead, read on.
And heard behind me a great voice as of a trumpet.
He heard behind him a great voice as of a trumpet. Why? Because Christ spake with authority. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 11, saying, I am Alpha and Omega,
Go ahead.
the first and the last, and what thou seest, write in the book.
He says, what thou seest, write in a book. Let's find out what John saw that he had to write, what Christ told him to write. Go ahead, read on.
And send it unto the seven churches,
he said, send to the seven churches. Go ahead, read on.
Which are in Asia, unto Ephesus,
Go ahead.
unto Smyrna, and unto Pergamos, and unto Thyatira, and unto Sardis, and unto Philadelphia, and unto Laodicea.
Now those are the seven churches, right? Okay, go ahead, read. Let's find out what they represent. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 12, and I turned to see the voice that spake with me.
So now he turned to see who spoke to him now. Let's find out physically. He said turn to see who was talking to him. Let's find out what he saw. Because that guy just said there's no way that Christ is described physically in the Bible. Go ahead, read on.
And being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks.
So he saw the menorah. He saw 7 golden, not 9. 7 golden candlesticks, which happens to be the menorah, who represents the 7 churches, right? Go ahead, read on.
Verse 13, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with the garment down to the foot.
So now he sees the man Christ with the garment clothed down to the foot. He's describing what his attire is, right? Go ahead, read on.
And girt about the paps.
The girt about the paps, because he had the golden girdle. Girt about the paps. Go ahead, read on.
With the golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So wait a minute. So you mean tell me John is imagining this? Because he's instructed by Christ to write what he see. So he saw Christ with a garment on, with the golden girdle. And he said, what? His hair, what? What did he say?
And his hairs were white like wool.
His hair was white as wool. Wait a minute. I thought he didn't describe it. He got woolly hair as a man. Go ahead, read.
As white as snow.
As white as snow. Go ahead, read on.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
His eyes were as a flame of fire. Why? Because he drank wine, and also because of the wine of understanding. That goes twofold. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass.
Oh, wait a minute. He has feet. He's describing what his feet look like. Go ahead, read on.
As if they burned in a furnace.
As if they burn in a furnace. The Bible doesn't describe what Christ. We just read what John saw. Let's go to another prophet, Daniel, chapter 10, verse 5 and 6. Let's find out what Daniel saw. See, we have to debunk nonsense, y'all. He just made a statement saying it doesn't describe Christ physically. John is writing what he sees. Christ instructs him to write what you see. What thou seest, write in a book what you see, not a metaphor. What you see, write in a book. Daniel, another prophet, Daniel chapter 10, verse 5 and 6. Go ahead, read.
Daniel chapter 10, verse 5.
Go ahead.
Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz.
The best gold. Fine gold of Uphaz. Go ahead, read on.
His body also was like the beryl.
His body. So now he has a body like the beryl green, which means he wore a beryl green garment. Go ahead, read on.
And his face as the appearance of lightning.
So he sees his face. It's appearance of lightning. Why? Because he had wisdom, like Moses. Like appearance of lightning, wisdom, right? Go ahead, read on.
And his eyes as a lamp of fire.
Okay.
And his arms and his feet, like in color.
Go ahead, read.
To polish brass.
To polish brass. So that describes Christ. Okay? So I just want to put that out there. So play the video. Just want to put that out. I just want to just deal with that. Because he made a statement. I had to correct that. Because sometimes people get twisted. Okay?
All right.
Go ahead. They had to let the Bible speak. Go ahead and finish up the video.
Indicates that he probably looked very well different from how he has long been portrayed. The Good Book offers few clues about Christ's physical appearance. Most of what we know about Jesus comes from the first 4 books of the New Testament, the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. According to the Gospels, Jesus was a Jewish man born in Bethlehem and raised in the town of Nazareth in Galilee, formerly Palestine, now northern Israel. During the 1st century, we know that Jesus was about 30 years old when he began his ministry. So tells us the Bible book of Luke chapter 3 verses 23. But the Bible tells us virtually nothing about what he looked like, except that he didn't stand out in any particular way. The historical Jesus likely had the brown eyes and skin of other 1st century Jews from Galilee, a region in biblical Israel. But no one knows exactly what Jesus looked like. There are no known images of Jesus.
That. The man is lying. I tell you what, he talked about the Gospels. Why he go to Revelation? Why he go to Daniel? The Bible says prove all things, right? He just gonna sit there and say, now mind you, if you don't understand, the man just straight lied. The Bible will describe what Christ looked like.
You know Christianity, they don't like to go into Revelations.
No, man. But I'm sharing this with y'all to show y'all, even in that, even though you're trying to reveal the truth, you still lying at the same time. Because you just lied and said the Bible don't describe Christ. And we just read you how he was described on 2 different occasions. By 2 different prophets. Daniel the prophet and also dealing with John the Revelator. Okay, go ahead, Rick. Go ahead, play the video, man. It's funny.
From his lifetime, And while the Old Testament kings Saul and David are explicitly called tall and handsome in the Bible, there is little indication of Jesus' appearance in the Old or New Testaments. In addition, when Jesus was arrested in the Garden of Gethsemane before the crucifixion, Judas Iscariot had to point Jesus out to his soldiers among the disciples, presumably because they all appeared similar to one another. But the words of the Bible in itself did not hint on the reasons behind their similarities. Whether they were white or black, or why or how they looked too similar, it did not tell.
He just said the disciples, you know what I want, bro. Give me Acts chapter 13, verse 1. Let's find out how the disciples look. Because it's a shame. That's why I'm glad we got the scripture to show, to prove. This guy is telling all kinds of lies. You don't know how Christ looked. The disciples don't know how they looked. Give me Acts 13 and 1.
Acts chapter 13, verse 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, and that was called Niger.
It was called what?
Niger.
Niger means black. So it's describing what they were called. If you add another G to it, the term nigger. I'm just keeping it 100. That's what they call. I'm just saying it just means black, right? But this is how they looked. Go ahead. We're gonna deal with the other disciples too as we go through the video. Go ahead, read.
And Lucius of Cyrene and Manon, which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch and Saul.
So I just want to show that, just to share that, to show that it describes how they, the skin tone of them as well. Okay, but for him to say that, that's crazy. Go to the scriptures. That's why you have to have the Bible to debunk the nonsense. Okay, we're gonna deal with some more people with the color in the Bible to because they want to talk about all this nonsense. But go ahead and play the video. I just had to say something. Okay, go ahead, play the video.
Considering these events, one is made to actually wonder, were these words deliberately expunged from the Bible to hide certain glaring truths? Or did the writers of the good book of the Gospel fail to discuss these things? However, the portrayal of Jesus as a white European man has come under renewed scrutiny during this period of introspection over the legacy of racism in society, and over the actuality of truth. One of the major factors of this renewed scrutiny happens to come with the buzzing news concerning certain storming revelations from Russia. For some time now, the recentness of this event has got everyone talking in wonderment.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has decided to move one of Russia's holiest icons from a museum to a Moscow cathedral. This arises a debate around Putin's growing reliance on the church.
Emphasizing on the importance of the holy icon, Putin ordered Andrei Rublev's Trinity be transferred to the Russian Orthodox Church from Moscow's Tretyakov Gallery for a year. The relocation of Russia's most well-known icon highlights how closely the war has intertwined politics and religion. The icon depicts the oak of Mamre, where the three angels visited Abraham in the book of Genesis.
Did you notice anything about these icons on display? They are all black. Icons dating back to the 14th century, brought together from private collections across Russia. Rare and strongly challenging masterpieces, most of which were destroyed during the Soviet era.
It's very beautiful. It gives you goose pimples. It's a remarkable exhibition.
It's an exhibition which feeds the senses. Everything is so grey outside at the moment, and here suddenly it's a feast for the eyes.
These icons that you see are the survivors of what is left. Had the museums not saved them, they wouldn't be existing today. There used to be millions of these icons, but now only 50,000 of them are within sight. The unveiling of these icons is a powerful testament to the enduring strength of truth. The authenticity of these paintings compels us to re-evaluate our understanding of the past, particularly regarding the presence and representation of black figures. For centuries, these figures may have been shrouded in obscurity, but their rediscovery sheds light on previously untold stories, standing as a challenge to long-held assumptions, prompting us to rewrite history with a more inclusive lens. Many Russian icons were destroyed or sold abroad by agents of the Soviet government. Some were hidden.
The 15-second sugar hack that could help normalize sugar levels while you sleep. Diabetics are constantly
to avoid destruction, or were smuggled out of the country. Since the fall of communism, numbers of icon painting studios have again opened and are painting in a variety of styles for the local and international market. Many older, hidden icons have also been retrieved from hiding or brought back from overseas.
The Castel San Angelo in Rome is currently hosting an exhibition of 40 Russian icons that have left their country for the first time. They are pieces of art that were hidden after the October Revolution of 1917 in order to protect them from anti-religious destruction.
It's the first time that a large number of Russian icons have come here to Italy. In addition, here are a dozen examples that have never before been moved. They appear for the first time in our catalog.
Icons are usually painted on wood and meant to represent saints or sacred elements. The Orthodox tradition considers them as if they were the gospel, inspirations of God through the hand of the artist. Their deep symbolism is reflected from the meaning of icon as a representation or vision from another world. The wood evokes the Holy Cross through its gold background, divine light, and the cloth attached to the wood evokes the cloth that covered the body of Jesus Christ.
Without a doubt, they have a great importance and a fundamental recognition in Russia, because the icons represent for Russia what the pyramids represent for Egypt, or the temples to the Greeks.
The exhibition shows icons ranging from the 15th century until the early 20th century. It's a rare opportunity to see the religious soul of Russia through its...
There's been so much debate going on around the world of late, bestirred by the unveiling of these black biblical icons. Some tend to think that the icons had blackened over time due to age, while others say that the blackness of the icons has nothing to do with age but are a measure of accuracy meant to depict the actual color of the skins of the people painted. Because they were black people, says Robert Rubin. Why didn't their clothes change to black in those paintings or all of the paintings? The true Israelis were black-skinned people, not white, likewise the ancient Egyptians. The Reshet structure in Mauritania is also the location of Atlantis. Russians did not change their paintings just as other countries did. They simply kept the true paintings and iconography. Look up ancient maps and you will see that the Kingdom of Judah was later located in West Africa. The Jewish nation was destroyed by Titus. Millions of Jews fled into Africa. They ended up in the west of Africa. From there they were sold as slaves to almost every part of the world. Do you think the hatred for black people is just normal or a coincidence? No. It was because they, Israelis, did not keep the commandments of God. Moses informed them of the blessings and curses, as we can see in the Bible book of Deuteronomy. God told them they will lose that land to people whom they did not know if they disobey him. The hatred for the black children of Ham and Shem is because the children of Shem have mixed up with the children of Ham. They are both black-skinned. The prime target of this hate is actually the children of Shem. Shem is being punished for his disobedience to his God. Another insightful one from Johnson here says, because black people were the people in the Bible that the Americans turned white when they told the stories to us. But Russians didn't get the memo. They went off for real history. Songs of Solomon. Chapter 1 verse 5. Revelations chapter 1 verse 15. Go check it out. It's in the text. It's not because of a candle or anything else these people are talking about. In that case, the whole picture would be black, not just the face and the hands. They are meant to be black because they were black people. This great USA is also a great deceiver. And so many people inherit the wrong lesson from their great-grandparents and their parents, to the point where it's so deep that the lie is made true when the real answer is really just right there. But you never look, because why would you? The Russian unveilings didn't stop there. Russia continues with its biblical historical revelations, with President Putin at the foremost front, championing the course. Russia has opened its cellars to reveal remarkable paintings of Jesus dating back to the 1400s.
By Father Vladimir Ivanov. This is a book that is highly coveted by different circles because it has the black icons. It has the history of black people in places like Russia, in Italy, in places all over Europe. This book can range from $1,300 to $3,000, so it's not an easy book to get. I actually borrowed this book from a friend, But this book has a lot of interesting depictions in it. A lot of them pertaining to the Bible. Like right here, this is the Transfiguration of Christ. and you see it's black people in caves, I believe, what it looks like. It's black people in the whole picture, but this is knowledge that escapes black people here in America. It's definitely something that we would never see or never hear about in the educational system. Now, I'm pretty sure there's people that are black history college students majoring in black history or world history, and they never seen nothing like this before. At least not from the standpoint of Europe, you know. This is the crucifixion of Christ, and in it we see angels, black angels. The people surrounding him are black. It's very interesting because the images that we see are contrary to what we have known our whole lives, or what we have been taught our whole lives. Like I'll say it again, like these type of images of antiquity escaped black people here in America, and I can say all people, for in general, just people in general don't know. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of Caucasian people and people of all nationalities that don't know the extent that black people covered the earth. And in many cases, like here, like what you see, we're in rulership positions. Like this looks like a king.
The images of Jesus and other historical figures in Russia's black icons challenge the commonly known perception of antiquity and reveal the extent of black people's presence and influence throughout history. Paintings from the 1500s and 1600s depicting black icons, including Jesus and Mary, in a highly sought-after book that explores the history of black people in Russia, Italy, and other parts of Europe. The book contains interesting depictions of black people in biblical scenes, which is knowledge that is not taught in the American educational system. However, debates concerning the authenticity of these icons goes on. And Alex Pizmeny, a software developer and Catholic Christian, has some things to contribute. The Russian Christians adopted Byzantine Orthodoxy wholesale. That, of course, includes the iconography. The fundamental principle of Orthodox iconography is no changes. The icons are, as much as possible, portraits of Christ, Our Lady, and other saints. Further, the styling, mood, garments, gestures are all fixed in the Byzantine style, so much so that students of iconography refer to these rules as iconographical canon, even though very little of that canon ever went through the normal ecclesial legislative process involving episcopacy and councils. Going forward, while Russia continues to amaze the world in this light, the unquenchable fire of truth persists through the darkness of history. Not so long, protesters had called for the removal of Confederate statues in the US. Activist Sean King went further, suggesting that murals and artwork depicting white Jesus should come down. His concerns about the depiction of Christ and how it is used to uphold notions of white supremacy are not isolated. Prominent scholars and the Archbishop of Canterbury have called to reconsider Jesus's portrayal as a white man. Only recently, on June 22, 2020, writer and activist Sean King announced that he supports the destruction of statues that depict a white Jesus. King, who had tweeted his remarks on that memorable Monday of 2022 June, noted that historians believe Jesus likely had the appearance of people who typically lived in the Middle East during his time, rather than the white man who is often depicted in Christian iconography. Yes, I think the statues of the white European they claim is Jesus should also come down, King tweeted. They are a form of white supremacy, always have been. In the Bible, when the family of Jesus wanted to hide and blend in, guess where they went? Egypt, not Denmark, he added. Tear them down. The comments quickly drew condemnation from some on the platform, including several prominent conservative figures. King clarified that he was only advocating that statues of a white Jesus be torn down in response to a tweet from the account of PragerU, a non-profit co-founded by conservative talk show host Dennis Prager. He also remarked that stained glass windows and other images of a white Jesus, his white mother and their white friends should all be destroyed, insisting they are racist propaganda and a gross form of white supremacy. King shared an image of a darker-skinned Jesus that appeared in a 2002 Popular Mechanics article, which scholars believe may be more accurate than those showing Jesus as a European. He commented that the image would have been intolerable for white Americans who participated in slavery. Experts have long since said that this is likely the most accurate depiction of Jesus. White Americans who bought, sold, traded, raped, and worked Africans to death for hundreds of years in this country simply could not have this man at the center of their faith. Sean King further tweets, June 23, 2020, a day after he had tweeted his support for the destruction of all white-statued Jesus. A tweet by Jenna Ellis, a lawyer representing President Donald Trump, warned that she would not break if they try to cancel Christianity, although it's unclear if it was in direct response to King's tweet. Regardless, King responded that what the lawyer was actually defending here is her whiteness. Christian whiteness needs white Jesus, King tweeted to Ellis. It's not about generosity or kindness. It's not about protecting the vulnerable. It's about whiteness itself. Attack white Jesus to her, and you attack her faith. Statues have been torn down and destroyed amid ongoing protests against racial injustice and police brutality that have swept the nation these recent years, counting from 2020. Although statues and monuments paying tribute to the Confederacy have been primarily targeted, statues of other figures from early American history have also been taken down. The movement to take down and deface controversial statues has gained traction in the UK, as well as Europe and the US, but has divided public opinion, with critics slamming it as mob rule, while others applaud it as a way of addressing systemic racism.
No matter what your experience was, we have a second chance at a father and son relationship, and this time is when we are the fathers.
Justin Welby, the Archbishop of Canterbury and head of the Church of England, has said the Church should reconsider its portrayal of Jesus as a white man. Speaking to the BBC Today programme, Welby was asked whether the way the Western Church portrays Jesus needed to be thought about again and reimagined. Yes, of course it does, he said, adding that Jesus was portrayed differently in countries around the world. He was regularly in touch with Anglican church leaders from around the world, he said, who did not portray Jesus as white. You go into their churches and you don't see a white Jesus, you see a black Jesus or Chinese Jesus or a Middle Eastern Jesus, which is of course the most accurate. Welby added that the representations of Jesus were not, however, who we worship, but rather served as a reminder of the universality of God who became fully human. Addressing calls for monuments with links to the UK's imperialist history and slave trade to be removed, he said statues in Canterbury Cathedral would be put under review. The question about whether they should all be there arises, of course it does, and we've seen that all over the world. He continued, we're going to be looking very carefully and putting them in context and seeing if they all should be there, says Justin Welby. In closing, the unveiling of these black icons serves as a powerful reminder that history is often shrouded in darkness, but truth has a way of shining through. These artifacts compel us to re-examine our understanding of the past and challenge long-held narratives. If their authenticity is confirmed, the paintings offer a glimpse into a previously unknown facet of history, forcing us to confront the complexities of representation. This discovery stands as a testament to the enduring power of truth, shattering the towers of misinformation and prompting a re-evaluation of the stories we tell ourselves about the past. That brings us to the end of yet another video segment. Share your thoughts with us in the comments section.
Okay, now the book he was talking about is called The Russian Icons right here. Okay. This book, like the guy was saying in the video, it costs a lot of money. We had to put money up to get this book. It's called Russian Icons. And that's what they're talking about. What's happening, we had this book for years. Okay, we had to scrape up some money. It could cost thousands of dollars.
Did you buy from the U.S. to get that?
Huh?
Did you buy from the U.S. to get that, or did we have to go buy it from the Netherlands?
We had to buy it from the Netherlands, I think.
Yeah.
We had to buy this from the Netherlands.
That in the catacomb book.
We had the catacomb book too to show you. These are the actual. We got pictures that we have. We're gonna show some pictures of the book that we took pictures of, showing you that historically they've been hiding, but this book cost thousands of dollars. You know, we really had to scrape up money to get this book. a lot of different scholarship things we can have. The catacombs, I'll show the catacombs as well. That's dealing with Rome, what they have done. They got our artifacts underneath Vatican. We got miles and miles and miles of our artifacts that they have been hiding for centuries to keep us from know who we are. That's why we keep telling everybody, your nationality holds value. Once you know who you are, you can conduct yourself in a godly manner. But if you keep thinking you other than what you really are, they're able to utilize the white images of Jesus and the disciples to do what? To push white supremacy. But see, what Putin has did, that's why they really hate Putin, because Putin is unveiling the truth. Okay? And they don't like that. Because outside of the American media, they want you to be fooled. That's why he kept saying more westernized churches push white man Jesus. Because it wants to maintain that, okay? Show some of those pictures that we for the I just want to show you some pictures for the audience that I sent to you, okay? Show you some pictures that's in the book. Okay? This is what's in the book. We took pictures to show you what they're showing you even on that video. And why is it important, y'all? Because I'm gonna tell y'all something. They want to really get rid of all of the history. That's why you think they're trying to rewrite history, okay? They've done it before under the Greeks. Remember the Greeks that they paint the likeness of the images in Maccabees? Same thing. Same spirit exists today. They want to hide everything from us. Okay? See some of those pictures? This is dealing with the Russian icons right here. No, I think those are catacombs, I think. Are those icons?
That's the catacombs.
Those are catacombs. But okay, we can do with the catacombs. The catacombs that's in Rome. Okay? Matter of fact, let me show you the book of Catacombs so you can see what I'm talking about. Come back to me for a second. This is what that book is. We're gonna go with the Russian icons, but this is the catacombs right here. Let me show you something. Let me come back to me and let me show this book. What about now?
You should be.
Can y'all hear us?
Start again.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, it's back. It's plugged in now.
Can you hear now? Okay, you hear now. She keeps saying it can't hear. Oh, you can hear now. Okay, now Getting back to what I was saying, okay, sorry about that for technical difficulties. What I was trying to say was, when you look at the catacombs, right? The catacombs was dealing with ancient Rome. They have miles and miles of our artifacts underneath Vatican. The same with Russian icons, the same thing exists. Now, what I was trying to say was, it's the same thing with the Planet of the Apes, the first one in 1968 with Charlton Heston. What it was showing in that Planet of the Apes, it was showing how the apes were trying to hide the history before them, which was man. Same thing today, to do the same thing with us. They want to hide our history. And that's why what Putin is doing, he's unveiling the truth. They don't like that, okay? Because it cancels out the lie that's been told for centuries. Because in Byzantium, we were ruling, but we were wicked as hell, though. But there was the Dark Ages. So you have these different paintings, different artifacts that they have. They want to keep these things hidden from us. That's why it's up to us to keep pushing the history, keep pushing the scholarship to show through artifacts the truth of the matter. It supports the Bible. It supports it. So basically, you see y'all lost 10 minutes. Okay. Well, you didn't really miss much. I was just doing a lot of talking. But anyway, you could, like I said, we showed you the book for the catacombs. But go back to the pictures. Go to the Russian icon pictures, though. Go to there. We showed let's show the Russian icon pictures. You should have those they're actual Russian icon pictures. Okay, let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all what they are unveiling. We already showed it before. I did the class before, but I want to show what they know recently. Because this recently happened with Putin. Putin just opened up the vault. The Most High put the spirit on him to do that. Ain't that funny? The Most High put the spirit on this man to do that. Look at that. That's the Russian. That's the crucifixion of Christ. Russian icons. Okay. Look at that transfiguration right there. Look at that. Look at how that looks. See, it's nothing but black faces. Like the guy was saying, why their clothes isn't black? Right. Why aren't their clothes black? Why is just the skin? It was the painting. Okay. Look at that right there. Mm-hmm. Look at that right there. Mm-hmm. This is in the book. This is what they have in Russia. Okay.
It's the pictures of them painting from the Russian icons.
Yeah. These pictures
right here.
Yeah. And we're gonna show the